So in Autumn, which is the next level, you will see the windmill shurikens likely being picked up by both of the runners, as you can do some really cool stuff with the windmill shuriken, as they basically act as a sword as your slash. And key factor of this game is you get cloud steps, which is after you slash something, there's a little white thing under the messenger, means you can jump again. And these windmill shurikens that are going to be picked up in the shop in a bit, they are basically a projectile sword that you can do some cool stuff with them. Boom, you'll see Gron getting them in the shop right now. Yeah. Again, apologize for Halfling's footage lagging, it's just like we were trying to sync up. There's one of the first windmill strategies there, as you use them to basically get you up higher, and so you can get up at the top of the room earlier by just throwing them ahead of you. Here, another good way to see just how New Game Plus saves time as well, is you get underwater dash early. Aside from, the lots of rope darting and just all the fast movements. That's New Game Plus only, you can just spam underwater dash too. So here, Grond is going to do a strat. Hopefully we'll see if he gets it. Nice. So that's Ultra Steel. And when you use your underwater dash, actually both runners getting it, which is very nice. That is a very hard trick. When you use your underwater dash and you leave the water, you can still get cloud steps, and you can actually carry your momentum, and you can just do some crazy stuff like that. Yeah, this level is very reset heavy and very appealing too to just watch just for that point, because that trick is very hard and both runners getting it here is amazing. That'll make it a very fun run to watch. I see Halfling entering the first boss, with Gron following shortly behind. This is Leaf Golem. He's not much of a threat. So over here, you're going to go for a one cycle. That is made a lot easier with the windmill shuriken. And boom, he's already dead. The first boss is already gone. There was never a first boss. So a cool tech to do at the end is you rope dart him when you're nearing the end of the fight. So you can slide on the ground a bit in the cutscene to get further to the right, so you have to walk less. This level, Forlorn, we'll be back. We'll be back here in a bit. Might look pretty easy then, but it's one of the most brutal levels later in the game. Yeah, Catacombs. This level's a lot of cycles, and a lot of strategies are just to save some time and cycles. So now we get to meet Ruxin. Both runners actually very similar at the time. But yeah, he's a nice guy. He has a cool staff. We like him. And he tries to, spawn enemies for us, but he's pretty cool. See, again, I'd just like to apologize for the freezing on Halfling's run. See there, in that room, you use the underwater dash to skip some cycles too, which is just another cool way this level and a bunch of other levels are used in New Game Plus. And there, that's another way to skip cycles. Can't breathe when you're commentating this game, I guess. So a trick coming up, you'll see there is what's called a Ruxin Gauntlet, which basically starts an 8-second cutscene that he's just going to jump over right there. Because there's a trigger at the bottom that you can jump over, and yeah, saves a bunch of time. Both runners getting it, which is very nice. There, that's just a great way. Instead of normally jumping on the platforms to climb up, you can just use the windmills and you're just going straight up. It's very cool to watch. That room, you want to go on the right. You can go on the left of that spike wall, but by going on the right, it saves just that extra bit of time. And you know, we're speedrunners, we want that extra time for the extra risk. But it's made a lot easier with windmill shurikens, which is a lot of strats here. So now, talked about Ruxin and his cool staff, we'll see him. You can go on the top or on the bottom, and both runners getting the bottom low Rux. And top is a bit faster, because you get to damage him and kill him. As you see, he's teleporting around here, which you can't get as much DPS in Valheim. But both runners, very quick kill. It is very close so far. And yeah. Next level, Bamboo Creek. This is, this level, there's a lot of fun windmill strats in it. And also just another way of using the underwater dash there. You just fly through that entire room. Both runners getting the yeet. Wow. A lot of these strats are very hard. I can't stress it enough. So here, upcoming on Grondious, you can see a nice windmill strat to use that trade. He gives you cloud steps, so you can use him to get up as you skip part of 2 rooms by doing that. And now upcoming, we have the infamous BC11. This room, it, well, haunts most runners in any category, but this one you just spam a bunch of windmills, and that still is very hard strat. Pretty hard strat. And yeah, nailing it on Gron's side. And Halfling seems to Halfling got it too. And Bamboo Creek, it's already almost done. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Just using the water to get that extra momentum to get out of the room faster. Very cool. And to Grotto. So we're now underground. And yeah, it's a very cool level. Normally, if we were a new game, we'd have to pick up the windmills, which or wingsuit. Pick up, but we already had it. Gron going for a strat where you windmill onto the bat in order to get a cloud step, so you don't have to go into the that little air thing that pushes you upwards. But yeah, get it. Also, you see there, no, your feed did not lag, and that is what I thought as my first time watching that trick be performed. It's actually a teleport, which that's not the best example of it, as it's on the same screen. But, yeah, it saves a lot of time, and it's very cool. A lot of time throughout the whole run. And there's a bunch of them in the run, especially in a later level of Cloud runs. Halfling was just in a room called DK, or, well, DK room, as it's very familiar to... Okay, I can't even speak. The runner's already doing insane things. It's very familiar to Donkey Kong, like the arcade game, which is why it has that nickname. Ron, you'll see, getting a yeet into the... He's carrying his momentum from the water, and that cloud step is very hard to get the timing of, as it's very precise. So that's... it's insane that he got it. Wow. That strat is incredibly hard. Yeah. Already out of Grotto into Emerald Golem. So there's a cool strat here, because your windmills give you cloud steps, and this strat here is you're going to count how much damage you do to his orb, because it opens up after 7, I believe, and then you're going to use your windmills to get up here in order to one-cycle him. And also, something I haven't talked about yet, is your windmills, if they try to come back to you, and if they don't get back to you in time, they will just keep going circling. So if you jump over them, you can juggle them, which is a great way to optimize the bosses, and it's not the easiest, especially when you have a lot of stuff to worry about. And both runners getting a really nice fight. Another cool thing here in New Game Plus is you can actually throw your windmill shurikens at the boss when he's dead to give you cloud steps to just get you higher, which, you know, he's already dead. Why do we have to throw more shurikens at him? It's a very cruel category, if you ask me. So there is there you see Halfling did and Gron got 2 is a better example of the teleports. Which, yeah, it teleports you to the enemy, or another enemy. And this room is called Right Room, because it's very long. So long that, guess what? It actually has 2 checkpoints. That's a little fun fact for you. It is a very long and annoying move. And another TP. Nice. Ron got it. Let's see if Halfling gets it. Yes. You got it. Both runners. The runners haven't made a lot of mistakes so far. This is a very, very great run. So in that room, your windmill shurikens, they actually go through walls, which is another fun fact. You know, they don't really care about walls. So you can just hit the switches that you would normally have to either slash or use a shuriken on, just through a wall. It also applies to enemies. Yeah, the shuriken doesn't care about walls. This room here, you have to be pretty quick to get on the right side of that platform as it moves, but it's nothing that these runners can't handle. Like, Gron and Halfling are amazing. So Quills room, it's already done. Now we're on to the Queen of Quills, which is a boss that is very annoying. So Gron actually went for a strat where you try to get a quick one cycle on her, but by keeping your windmills throughout, and you just do so much DPS. But both runners actually not getting the one cycle. And about this boss, it doesn't matter how much damage you do to her, she always has to be killed in the middle of the screen, which is why she jumps there, and then the death animation starts. And now we're on to Crags, which... Okay, we're already doing windmill shreds. This level is just every level now, you would have got the rope dart. So a lot of the rope dart only stuff that we've seen before are are possible in normal playthrough. But you also have the windmills, which yeah, you'll see in the first room even, or second room, you're already doing some crazy stuff. So there, you try to go through a little pit using this stalactites. Because why do I have to hold right to the edge of the room? Alright, so first sequence break of the run. So normally, why are we in a cutscene? So normally, after you complete the linear portion of the game and start the second quest, you unlock music notes, which is your way of progressing, basically. And you can use these windmills to get a music note early, which just saves us from having to go back here and get it. As we're right here, so we might as well. Here, upcoming on Gron's screen, you'll see if he gets a teleport or not. It's another TP. There's a lot of them. And he got it. See if Halfling gets it. Nice, both getting it. So Grant, you might, I don't know if you caught that, but he got 2 cloud steps from a single projectile. Which, that's a glitch. You're not supposed to do that, but this game works. Now we're on to Call of Susan. This boss is handy tilting at times because there's a lot of RNG on what attacks they do. But both runners getting a very similar RNG, getting the first starting attack. And that's actually not what you want to see. This attack, because he's moving a lot, you don't really want to see it, and it takes up a very long time. Gron ending it out with a rock. Oh, and Halfling actually skipping the rock there. That was pretty nice. Yeah, you can get screwed by just RNG in this boss, which is why I personally don't like it, and a lot of runners share that opinion. This is a crazy close race so far. There hasn't been any major mistakes so far in it. Yeah, it's amazing. And shovel, please. Here, we'll see if the runners go for it. There's a... Oh, okay, Grand isn't going for it, but there's a strat in this room to go in on the left side. But it is very hard, so it's... Yeah, there's a reason that both runners don't want to go for it, as it's a hard strat. And if you fail it, you lose a bunch of time. So this is another level that we'll be back. We'll be back in the Metroidvania portion, because this game, it's divided into 2 portions of one of a linear portion, which is up until Underworld, and then it branches into a Metroidvania. So cool windmill strat there is you're gonna actually use your cloud steps. Gron going for it and Halfling not. It's very close in time for the rooms, so it really is just preference. And so you're gonna go over the room instead of under, into a power seal room, which is a collectible in the game to unlock the windmill shuriken that you're seeing is breaking the game right now. So if we went in the shop, aside from the one time where we just popped in to grab the windmills and go, we know these are shopkeepers. And yeah, now we unlock Tower of Time. Or Tower of Time Loss. Or Tower of Torture. There's a lot of names for it. But yeah, this level is hard with a lot of tricks that are very punishing if you fail. So this is where a lot of runs come to die and lose time. So we'll see how it goes for both the runners. This first room, if you're not paying attention, you can end up just holding right into the lasers, which I've done too many times. So there, you see two ways of hitting the crystals through the walls. The first one is using a slash to do it, and the second one is just using the windmills, because windmills don't really care about walls. And the strat there is Hail Mary, as you take a damage boost on the lasers, and then use the Wizrobe projectile. Both runners nailing it. Wow. And this one, minus start. Both going for it. You rope dart the Wizrobe, because he has to take 2 hits to fully die. And the first hit just knocks him down. And so then you can damage boost through the laser instead of just using it. So, okay, a strat there is you can actually hit that crystal through the wall, but you'll see Halfling going for the damage boost strat while Grond isn't. That puts Halfling a bit ahead of Grond now. Just goes to show how close this run is at the moment. But really, anything can happen. Yeah. So that damage boost is safe there, because from checkpoints you'll get 5 HP, and you need 5 HP to survive a laser, as it deals 4 damage, so you can just climb up on the right wall there. In the room. But now, doing a bit of the New Game Plus Walk of Shame. As normally you just throw a shuriken, but your shurikens want to come back to you. They don't want to keep going forward in this category. So yeah, you have to go on a bit of a walk. To hear Halfling nailing Ohos, there's actually 2 different ways to do it that you'll see the 2 runners doing, showcasing it perfectly. One uses a damage boost on the laser, and one doesn't. Both of them are very similar in time. But one of them is a bit scarier. But both of them are very scary. Ohos is a very hard strat. And this is the last room before we're done Tower of Time. You'll see there's a trick there. Go laser skip. You just go over the lasers instead of going on the slow-moving platform. See both runners nailing it, now entering Arcane Golem, which is the final boss of the 8-bit section. This boss is pretty quick with your Windmill Shurikens and all your New Game Plus upgrades. As your Windmill Shurikens, they come back to you, and the meter actually next in the top left. The green one's his health meter, and the one on the right is his windmills, and they regen. So now, both runners, GG in the 8-bit section. That was crazy close. And now, we're getting a cool hat. And, you know, you like the 8-bit art style of this game? Well, I hope you like the 16-bit. So, we gotta just go through this bit of it, so we can acquire a very cool hat. And as you see, that is a very cool hat. Now, we just walk to the right and we enter Cloud Ruins. Hey. This level, though, this very hard level too. There's a lot of very hard levels. And this one especially, there's 3 auto-scroller sections with a dragon at the end. And on all of those auto-scroller sections, you can go ahead of the camera and do the section blind, but it is very hard to do, so we'll likely not see the runners go for it. So this room here, Halfling is in. You're just gonna... There's spikes moving on the walls, but like, we don't care about spikes. We're speedrunners, so we want to do it the fastest way possible and just go through the room and climb it. So here is the first Manfred auto-scroller. So you see, that's Manfred, the big red dragon, and you know, he wants to, you know, check you out. So he's gonna chase you. Oh, Halfling, where did he go? He's doing it blind. Both are. Okay, I was wrong. That is very scary. Because well, you have to know it very well to do that, and both going for it in a race. Wow, that's impressive. Nice little car wash there with the spikes. And yeah, now we're into the worst room in the game. This room is horrible. Because there's no ground. I like ground. And there's a lot of those blue things. But yeah, both runners getting a good room. Don't want to jinx it too early on Gron, but he's done with a nice room. Really, a good room in that is just anything where you don't die. Now the second Manfred auto-scroller section. In the third run, there is a, you know, we won't spoil it yet. But you get a certain friend in the third one, and it's your decision whether he lives or dies. But this second one is quite long, and it's understandable not to do this one blind. It is, it's a bit complex. Complex normally, but blind makes it even harder. And I'm just finishing up this one. And only one more Manfred section left. Just gotta get through a couple of remaining rooms. Halfling actually pulling one of them down with him. So you can both actually doing it. So you can rope dart it to just save that extra time. Now we're on the third one. You'll see. Okay, Halfling killing it immediately. Okay, well you get a friend here, and see if Gron saves it. So you can either save it or kill it, and you might think it dies both ways, but it doesn't. The developers confirmed it. It lives. It, you know, jumps. You'll see. So it jumps down the pit. It lives. Don't worry about it. It lives. Okay, Halfling is blind again. Oh, so is Grond. Okay, now we're done the level and we have Manfred. We have to fight him. And there's a way to do this fight where he gets stuck in a ball and you can just infinitely damage him, and we'll see if the runners get it. Halfling almost getting it. Well, let's see if Grond gets it. Grond gets it. You can see how much time that saves, especially with the windmills, because the windmills do so much damage to him when he's there, as they hit him multiple times, and he's just shredded instantly. So that now puts Grond just ahead of Halfling. That's just... wow. Walfred is a very hard strat. You have to be positioned very well to get him there. So, wow. That just shows how anything can happen in this run. And again, we still have a lot of time left in it. So, And now we're in Underworld, because we killed Manfred, and we're banished to the Underworld. Not really. We're just here now, because we gotta fight Farmer at the end. That's what Halfling gets for killing the Red Kappa. Oh yeah. Yeah. Grondious there, that's a Jesus fall, because you're basically wingsuiting in a normal falling animation, and it's called Jesus fall. And it looks pretty cool. So yeah, now that you have you had the tabby at the start of the game, and you can use it to walk on lava and water. So you use it there to just get ahead and not waiting on that little moving platform there. And both runners taking a damage boost on the Guru, I think it's called. I just call it the little green slug thing. To just get through the spike. Get through the spike to take a damage boost later on this spike. And yeah. So, Halfling not opting for that. Oh my. Okay, almost died there without the checkpoint. That is horrible. Because that next room can be very dangerous, as you've seen there. So it is common for some people to get the checkpoint. And so here, there's supposed to be lava rising chasing you, but we're a bit fast for that. Excuse me, it's actually Fanta. Because it looks like Fanta. So we're nearing the end of Underworld here. We just got our last little room here where we can rope dart these stalactites on the ceiling to get that extra bit of time save. And now we're into Barma. This is the guy who got us down here, so we're a bit mad. We're gonna juggle these windmills, but not do too much damage to get him into this attack where we can just trap him in a corner and just attack him indefinitely. And he's already dead. And both runners getting the good attack. And he's dead for Halfling too. If you let him live to the point where he does another attack, there's an attack where he spins around in his saws and you can't damage him, which you don't want. But that is actually the end of the linear portion for both runners, which is... yeah, now we're into the Metroidvania section. Oh, you remember Manfred. See, he, kind of was waiting there to save us. So, thanks to him, because now we have an extra bit of this game to enjoy. Here we just have a bit of a cutscene, you know, just a bit of story stuff, which we're just gonna skip all the dialogue of. And if you've been wondering, why are both runners using simplified Chinese? Well, it saves like a couple of frames, so, you know, we need that extra time save. Yeah, I do believe Halfling is just barely ahead. I think there's a bit of discrepancy in the footage because of just loads, as that's always a problem with these PC races. But yeah, it's still very close, and we'll have to... it seems like it's going to be right down to the wire. Now in this cutscene, we actually become a shopkeeper, which is pretty cool. So we get this soldier dude coming in, and we're basically replacing the shopkeeper for us, and he's replacing us. See, it's actually... so, a bunch of runners actually just use it, because whenever there's a ... in the text boxes, I believe it saves a frame. Yeah, it's very minimal, but of course, any frame matters. As I believe the current 8-bit new game world record, it it made it the reason that it was a 2929 instead of a 2930, which was very cool. Yeah, no, both runners, unless I don't know, both runners don't understand simplified Chinese. Yeah. Now we're nearing the end of this little cutscene, and we unlock 3 portals, which we can go back to Autumn, back to Grotto, and back to Glacial. We'll see if the runners do any different routes, but the normal consensus is you go to Autumn first. Yeah, both runners going to Autumn. And we do get the map you might have saw very briefly there. What map? So in this room, you're normally supposed to go to the right side, but you can just use a windmill to reach those lanterns. Yeah. So here, cool yeet to get above the spike, just to carry your momentum again to this room, and yeah, just getting all that small time save. It amounts up. Crazy. And this room, if you are very fast in the room, you can actually catch that cycle there on the platform. Grond actually is not even using it. What cycle? So here, a bit of a sequence break, just to skip. Okay, both runners getting it. Just to get to this note immediately. And just skipping to it. As normally you'll have to go through basically an entire level. Bit of an excursion just to reach it, but you can just use windmills. Or just reach the note early. And so now you're actually, instead of going back to HQ and going in a different portal, we're going to go to Forlorn Temple now, which you saw very briefly in the run where we just got out of there as quickly as we could. But now, since, well, we're in this Metroidvania section where you can change into 16-bit and 8-bit, as that's what the little blue lines are. You can travel through to change your time. You unlock a level. And normally, well, you'll have to get some Phobkins, which we got one in Catacombs. But to build a bridge, but you can just go over the bridge. And while I'm talking about that, I already missed both runners. You saw Ultra Steel in the 8-bit section, well, we'll just do it again in 16-bit. And both runners nailing it. And Kron getting the Jesus Yeet too. Just using the Jesus Fall. It's great. It's a bit of extra points there. So now we're back where Leaf Golem was. He's kind of not there now because we already killed him. So now, back in Forlorn. And so what we're going to do here is a trick called G-Jump, which you're going to use the windmills to jump across this massive gap that's there. Gron nailing it. We'll see if Halfling gets it. Halfling gets it too. Wow. Yeah, so now you're unlocked Forlorn early, and we're just going to complete that now. So this level is very annoying. They were kind of dipping our toes into the spikes there, both runners, to get that switch through the wall. A bit scary to take the damage there, but if you take it, it's not too bad. Next room here. We just have to change time to unlock the switch, and then so we can proceed. And you'll see here, there's a lot of rockets now, which is this level's mechanic. Got a bunch of rockets. And here, you'd think we'd use a rocket, but no, we just skip it. So why use it if we can do something faster? So see, Gron going for Forlorn Hail Mary, which that strat is very hard. And it's very risky because that room with the Wizrobes, one wrong damage can really screw you over, especially in the next couple of rooms because there's just a lot of ways to die. So, yeah, makes sense why Halfling wouldn't go for it at that health. And you can windmill that lantern through the wall, and that lantern always gives you your health. So Grondious going for, well, just getting the switches, hitting them. And that switch, normally it's called Groundabout to do it, if we were a new game, but you can just use a windmill. And thank God for that, because Groundabout is very jank. You're basically slashing it through the wall, and I think the strategy is just to mash. Yeah. So here, just switching to 16-bit so we can open up the room, because it's blocked off. And this room, another one of rockets. This one, if you get hit, you'll fall back down and have to use another rocket, and it's a very it's a kind of stressful room, but Gron nailing it, and we'll see how Halfling goes in the spikes. Takes a hit there, that's not too bad, just hopefully he doesn't take another hit. Nice. And we're almost on the best room in the game of the Diagonal Saw Room. That room is very scary, especially on low health. But you get a health potion, or not a potion, you just get full health earlier. And your Grand only taking 1 damage there, that's very nice. You love to see that. If you're on a low damage in that room and you mess it up, it's very scary. Yeah, both runners 1 damage. And actually, almost nearing the end of Forlorn. Grand has 1 room, or well, a couple of rooms, but this room is very long, and there's a lot of spikes. If you mess up and miss a rope dart, it can be very scary. Yeah, there you go. Now we're approaching Demon King. And this boss, you're supposed to use rockets to damage him, as that was a pretty key thing in the level. But you can actually just use his projectiles as they give you Cloud Step, and just mash an X on your controller to just climb with him to deal so much damage. Oh, Grond almost hit. The windmill got him the kill there. Boom. That's very fast. We'll see how this goes for Halfling. Ooh. Halfling having to take a rocket. Oh, not opting for the rocket, actually, just going for the kill. That's probably smarter. So there is a glitch that can occur sometimes that is... it is a bit... We don't know the exact cause yet, but sometimes a rocket does stay spawn in this fight, so it skips the second phase, but both runners not getting it. It's very random. I believe you have to like kill him as a rocket spawns or something similar to that, and it's very precise. Now entering the third phase, which is basically just waiting for the attacks. And just waiting until you reach the top so you can ditch the rocket and expose his eye to some sun. And yeah, now he kind of dissolves away. And you can take his crown, which this crown gets you to a cool level later in the run. Has a very cool background. Yeah, both runners finishing this level up pretty close together. Grond had a very good fight. And Halflings was good too. So now we're gonna go backwards through bamboo this time. And we're gonna go backwards all the way to Catacombs. That is our next level. But you know, we get to enjoy the amazing music in Bamboo Creek again, composed by Rainbow Dragon Eyes. They did a great job with this OST. A lot of see that Grand, so he rope darts and jumps at the same time to make his hitbox one tile high, so then he can get in the water and use his underwater dash to just keep his momentum. And also going for a yeet through this room. That is a very hard yeet and just nailing it. Wow. And we'll see if Halfling goes for it and gets it. Nice. Halfling gets it too. Wow. Yeah. Now we're going backwards through Catacombs. Normally we would pick up a note there, but a note there to unlock another level of 8-bit Club runes, but we don't have to go there because we already have the Phobkins. Grand going for a yeet to skip a crusher, or not a crusher cycle, to get under that spike, as normally you'd have to wait for it. And yeah, that saves just a small bit of time, and it's very cool. See if Halfling goes for it. No, Halfling doesn't. Understandable, it's a very, like, risky, rewarding strategy. Drawn nearing the end of this Catacombs, entering Dark Cave. So in this room Halfling's in right now, both runners, they both got Badonk in their 8-bit. So if that hitbox actually you can still get the cutscene even in 16-bit, because the trigger has not been met yet. So you see Grand, where is the level? So we're actually supposed to get a candle normally to see it, but that's out of our way, so why not just do the level blind? And that is very hard to do. It's hard. Not the early section is really the dangerous part, which we'll see how Halfling goes. Halfling doing pretty good too. Got it. Yeah, true sight is just a candle. So yeah, we have to hit a crystal up to open up some hatch so we can get to Riviere. And now we're here. Yeah, Halfling just finishing up that dark cave, bit behind Grand. Here you see the portal here. This is how we'd ever get back here if we wanted to, but we don't need the portal because we don't need to come back here. We only need to go here once. But now we also get introduced to these flowers, which is this level's key mechanic. And we can skip a lot of them, as you see in these first rooms. We don't use them at all because we can just go past them. Going for that TP there, that's a very hard TP. Ooh, and Halfling actually looking like he's... okay. Never mind, he touched the checkpoint. I think that's actually an out-of-bounds strat where you skip the checkpoints. Oh, maybe he just missed the checkpoints to save the extra frame, because, well, for some checkpoints they save you a frame if you don't hit them, but come on, a frame isn't really needed. Until it is. So there we're going to use the bird to just keep our momentum in that room, to yeet into this room. And also do some nice damage boosts. Wow, Gron with the very clean damage boosts. Oh no, Halfling taking a death to the yeet. Ouch, that is brutal. It's a very... If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Oh, and he didn't get the checkpoint either. That is... that's brutal. I guess... We just... Oh, dying... Halfling. Dying in the cycle room, too. That is... very annoying. Just goes to show how close this game can be and how one mistake can set you back a lot. Nearing the end of this, we're gonna do a cool strat here with the birds. As normally we'd have to take the flowers again, but you know, who needs them? Yeah, Halfling just playing it safe there. And yeah, we'll see he doesn't have a lot of health, so he's not going for damage boosts, which is understandable. Now we're on to this little Butterfly Monarch. I think that's his actual name. And so, he looks very cool as a butterfly, but he's actually a bat. And he wants to kill you. So he shoots down this thing that actually inverts your controls and you don't want to hit it. So there's a possibility to get a 1 cycle, and we'll see if Gron gets it. Okay, no. Gron does not get the 1 cycle. Is it a moth? I don't know. I don't know what the actual name is. But yeah, you see here, normally it would reveal the platforms that you can just jump on early. Oh, it's a nightbird? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Normally he would reveal it, but they're actually still there. You just can't see them. And we'll see Halfling finishing up his Riviere. Oh my god, going for a rope dart on that 1 tile. So Grond unfortunately died. It's actually an intentional death to get back to this checkpoint faster. And now, going to Grotto to then get to Sunken Shrine. We'll see if Halfling does get the 1 cycle, but the 1 cycle is very tight, as you can actually, when he goes up, you can still damage the boss, as his hitbox stays there, it's just off screen, and it's a very hard, because you need to do a lot of damage too, and it's under strict time. That will see how Halfling gets it. Oh, Halfling not getting it either. So, we'll see if he gets the 2 cycle. Now we're back in DK room. Now we're doing it backwards. And now we're out. Upcoming in a bit, there's another use of, hopefully, the teleports. We'll see if Ron gets it. Nice, got the 1 TP. There's actually a way to teleport and not change what time you're in. So you can stay in 8-bit and then you don't have to go underwater and change that. Okay, now we have to go through a bit of a maze, but we have sparkles guiding our way to reach the end. To get to Sunken Shrine. But a lot of the runners don't actually need sparkles, and if you wanted to get here earlier in the game, well, we actually start with this item that shows the sparkles, but if you wanted to do it without it, it is possible. You just have to know it. Now we're in Sunken Shrine. We're gonna actually, there's a way to skip that portal, or we're gonna pick it up so it's faster leaving. Here, it's a lot of use of the tabby that we got earlier in the run. And there's a lot of water in this level. It is sunken after all. Halfling also entering the maze at the moment. Here I'm coming. We have a nice strat, because normally we'll have to change time to actually when there isn't water there, so you can slash the blocks. But because the windmill shurikens follow you, you can just manipulate them in order to have them break them for you while you're still in the one time. And so now, important thing that you gotta make sure you do is actually pick up that item, because you have to pick up 2 items, then use them on the door to get the music note. And yeah, so you have to go on the right side and the left side. It has happened too many times where you forget the item. We're gonna take a hit on the spike there. Grondious taking a hit there. And doing yeeting through the room to then just go through the spikes and just maintain our momentum again, saving that time. And skipping a cycle at the bottom. At the bottom, there's crusher cycles, and you'll normally have to wait, but by doing that, you just skip straight to going. This level does feature a lot of just changing time in a puzzle. So here's another yeet, and Gron getting it. Nice. That yeet, actually, it's not the easiest. It's sort of hard to get the timing down on the little jump. Running through the rooms fast with the windmills, using them for the cloud steps to just get height, do that vertical room. And now Grond is already done sunken. He just has to go to the door and wait in a cutscene. Now we'll see if Halfling gets this yeet too. Looks like he did. He got it. And opts to wait out on that cycle. That was a good call. I think he might have gotten crushed there. Yeah, so now Gron getting the note here, and Halfling just finishing up the right side. Also getting that one yeet. Now Gron's gonna take the portal to then go to Glacial now. Again, using that little animation glitch for the Jesus fall. And now we're gonna remember Manfred again. He's gonna help us out again, as now we get a level that we need him for. We need to, well, ride on his back to traverse through the level. We just have to get through Glacial to get to him. And normally, he's frozen at the moment. And normally we'd have to do this whole side thing with the Queen of Quills, which we fought back in Quillshroom. And then she would break the ice for us. But we have windmill shurikens. Windmill shurikens are handy, and we can just windmill the crystal instead of doing that whole side quest. Yeah, Halfling finishing up the note. See, just those 2 Riviere deaths cost him a lot. But still, you saw what happened in Riviere. If something happens to Grand, like, there may be, especially in Elemental, because there's a lot of, if you have to redo a Manfred section, that is a lot of time loss. Yeah, you see there, just using the windmill to hit the ice early. And yeah, now we can just go to Elemental Skylands. So yeah, now Manfred can shoot fireballs, which we would have saw in the fight actually, if we didn't kill him so fast. Yeah, so here, this section in New Game, if you're not doing New Game Plus, you'd want to go here first, as you'd get a lot of shards from these enemies. But here, it actually doesn't matter if we kill these enemies or not, because we don't need the shards. Ron getting the Hansan of Dreams, which is when you jump off of Manfred and Hansan on that little island there. It's very cool, Hansan. Ron just playing it safe there. Understandable. Does not want to take a death in the pits. And Halfling breaking the crystal too. Good. And so all of these, you can't just stay on Manfred, because there are some generators that would likely kill him, I believe. So we have to disable them by slashing the little lanterns, and then we can get back on him. Yeah, Halfling now entering Elemental. So you see these fireballs, you can either charge up a big fireball or do a small one. And the only cap on how fast you can shoot them is the frame rate, as you can only shoot 60 per second if you were at task, or 30 per second, sorry, if you were at task, and well, the boss of this section requires very fast mashing, which you can just shoot a lot of fireballs. And you're also just shooting a lot of fireballs to kill the enemies here too. So this section can hurt your fingers. Now we're into Ground Skyland. There's a Skyland for every element. And normally we'd have to go through, well, a lot of the level to just get there to that section where Grand already passed, where you can just use a damage boost to get on the wall. And yeah, now you're basically done Ground Skyland. You just have to hit the generator, and boom, now you're back on Manfred. But still, like, these Manfred sections are long, so if Grand would have to replay one, that can give a good chance for Halfling to catch up, but pretty unlikely, as they give very generous checkpoints at the start. Really, Fire Skylands, the last Skyland, there's air, ground, water, and fire. And fire is very dangerous. Now Halfling entering Ground Skyland. I'll see if he gets this little damage boost too. It's a pretty... There you go, got it. It's a pretty simple damage boost. The Outgone entering the water skyline. This one, you're gonna want to use a lot of heats and underwater dashes to just keep your momentum. Water skyline's pretty short and sweet. There's pretty cool skyline. It's a personal favorite of mine. And now we're back on Manfred. Halfling is finished up around skyline, coming up on the water. This is on Gron's side. This is the last Manfred auto-scroller until we reach the boss. So we have Fire Skyland standing. Fire Skyland is very intimidating. The hard Skyland. Halfling now arriving Water Skyland. Halfling isn't actually too far behind Gron, and again that lead can be like there's so many times and situations where that lead can whittle down. Ready. Now entering Fire Skyland. So this Skyland, well, there's a lot of fire, like its name would suggest, and it's very dangerous for that. Well, fire and lava, and it's pretty dangerous for that reason. Ron having a bit of a scary generator room, but nothing he couldn't handle. Halfling finished up the Water Skyline. Now just approaching fire. Oh, there is a way at the end of there. You saw Gron kind of slow down and try and rope down a wall. It's not very noticeable, but there is a way to actually yeet there. As if you are going through a time change, you will keep your momentum, and if you're rope darting, then you can you'll keep that momentum through. Now we're on to the boss. It's a lot of mashing, as you see there. That's a human. Very fast mashing. And we're gonna hit the inventory button in order to, so it stops the projectiles, or the projectiles from the concierge, that's his name by the way, from hitting you, and it basically freezes time, but you can still damage him. Okay. Gron already, oh my god, dude, that is some fast mashing. Gron's already done the fight, I couldn't even speak. Already just mashing. Just, yeah. In order to be optimal in that fight, you need to mash very fast. Which is extremely hard. Now, yeah, getting the note. And move. So now we only have Underworld. We go back to the Underworld. And we have to go through Crags first. And we don't actually have to go through the portals, because we're actually right here in Glacial, and we can just finish through the rest of the level backwards to get to Underworld. halfling on concierge as well. Just finishing it up. And yeah, that fight, it's very scary too. Oh, halfling taking a death. Ouch. Yeah, that fight can be very scary, which is why Gron's fight was insane, because he only took very small amount of damage and did it very quick. Like, that fight is it's no easy boss. But yeah, we'll see how halfling's fight goes now. Now Gron just not finishing up, going to Underworld again. We're back. We're in the same room, doing another Jesus fall. God likes the animation glitch a lot. So there's actually an exploit in this level where it's called saw jump, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you jump off a saw, and it's very jank. We don't really have an explanation on how it works, but it works sometimes. Yeah, this music is very good. So we just gotta finish up this blue kappa room, and we'll see if he gets it. Doesn't get saw jump. Alright, and halfling finished up concierge, getting the note now. So saw jump, yeah, again, we don't know how it works, and you'll see it basically lets you just jump off a saw to end the room immediately. And yeah, we'll see if halfling gets it, so you can see what it actually looks like. But I mean, understandable. It's a, a very weird strategy. So yeah, you just have this last little long room in Underworld until you get the notes. And yeah, Gron's getting the note. Okay, so now Grond is gonna be going to Corrupted Future, which is, well, you see there's a bit of a crown mold in that crystal over there. That's where we put it from Demon King. And now we can go here. It has a very cool background. So yeah, now these little flies. Just studied up on the messenger terminology before this. Don't know what their exact name is, but they help you proceed through the level, as you have to free them there from that little orange thing, and you have to use them to change your time where you can go through the walls. This level does have quite a bit of waiting in it, as you have to wait for these little flies to move. Halfling now entering this little portion of Underworld we didn't have before, and we'll see if he gets the saw jump while Grondious finishes up Corrupted Future. Incoming. Does he get it? No, both runners not getting it. I mean, I have only gotten it once, so makes sense as to why that we're not seeing it done by everyone. The strategy is just incredibly weird. So now Grondious finishing up the level, going to grab the note, and oh god, he died. He died while he grabbed the note. Oh no. That's not good. So now, oh, he's all the way back at the start? Wait, why is he floating? Huh. What? That was interesting. Oh, the note's here now? Oh. Well. Getting the note at the start of that portal. Yeah, that's actually... It's actually a very fun strategy. Just taking the intentional death, as normally that little guy you saw, just a small bit of at the end. He chases you back, and it's very... Yeah, it's kind of scary. Very scary. Not kind of. Oof. Yeah, so it's great that we can skip it. And there's a strategy for only New Game Plus deal where you actually do a yeet through that entire section. As in deal, you cannot die. As if you die, your save file is basically deleted. So you have to do that yeet, but that yeet is very scary. So now, we got all the music notes. So now we can enter Music Box, which has some very good music. And a lot of the cycles here are actually tied to the music. So you'll see there, it doesn't start until the music really kicks in. And there is a way to use the inventory button again to make a cycle not go. And if you pause on the right beat of the music. But this music box is a very scary level. And there's some crazy strats. Especially, there's one in this room that we'll see if he doesn't go. Okay. So there is a way where you can pause or you can buffer the cycles so you can get through and you can make it an extra cycle on this little moving crusher with the spikes. Rhonda's not dead somehow. Wow. Halfling finishing up Corrupted Future, doing the death abuse. So upcoming, this next room here, this is a strike called Rhythm Bird. We'll see if Gron goes for it. Oh my god, Gron, you're insane. Okay, just not going for the full Rhythm Bird strat, because there is a way. Jesus. Okay. There is a way to go through that full room and just yeet through it, but it is very hard and very punishing if you fail. So understandable, just going for the smaller strat that's still very risky, but nailing it. Yeah, and as you see, he entered the shop there. That was not by accident. It actually stops the music. Well, yeah, it stops the music to reset, so you can get through the room faster. They're a bit of manipulating the windmill shuriken to give you that little, to follow you and to hit the other crystal in that puzzle room so you don't actually have to do the puzzle. Alright, this room here is also scary. Okay, Gron squeezing through that one platform. Wow. Okay, going above that cycle, another scalp. Okay, you just can't get a break from the sketchy strats. So this room here, you have to be pretty fast as you want to make a little cycle here as this thing goes down. We'll see if Gron gets it. It might be a bit close. Wow, that was very close. And you're actually going to try to use these windmills to use them to get up and not have to wait on that, but since it was that close, Ron didn't get it. But that still saved more time than it lost. See if Halfling goes for that. No, nah, not going for the inventory shot. I mean, I've only seen it once, and you know, it's from the man himself, Grond, and it is sketchy. Okay, Grond rope darting instead of slashing. As when you rope dart, you lose your momentum when you touch the lantern. Now, since that crystal is actually close enough to the wall, you can just slash it through the wall. Another one of entering the shop to reset the cycles. And yeah, just closing out music box in the home stretch. And Halfling isn't going for Rhythm Bird too, which is that is expected. Rhythm Bird is, I mean, Narga would go for it. But Rhythm Bird is extremely hard. And it's, well, not really something you'd want to do in a race. As you lose a lot of time if you fail. No. Alright, Garan just in the last room. Is he gonna at least go for the TP? Oh, he went for it. I gotta respect that. He, you know, sort of went for bat TP. As so, that TP, no one has ever done it. But it's just, you know, we want it to exist. It's like a dream. So I respect the effort. But the issue with bat TP is that you're actually too far. The bat's too far to the left to do it. Now entering the final boss of the game, Phantom. We gotta play a bit of tennis with him. We kind of beat him in tennis very quick. And so now we get to be shooting lasers at us with this mask. So just while that animation starts, we just do some windmill juggling. Here, do a bit more at the end. And we'll see if we get Nargaport. Nice, we got it. So you teleport as he actually moves to the top. So you teleport with him to, well, be able to damage him earlier. And yeah, he's already dead. Halfling going for Narga's left side strat. So there's two different ways to do that room. And yeah, that is one way. That's from Assassin Narga, and Assassin Narga is known for his very jank windmill strats. Also, GG to Grondious, and we'll see how his mashing goes at the end. You know, you kill the final boss, then you have to mash a bit to break the mask. And GG, 1:24:51. That is an amazing time. Wow. That is an amazing run. And Halfling also had an amazing run too. Well, he still has to close it out. I'm just being optimistic. Still got a bit left in music box, but he's got it. And that was a very close race, really just coming down to the two deaths that Halfling had in Riviere. Wow. We'll just see Halfling close out the run. See if he goes for bat TP. Nope. Oh, unfortunate. I mean, bat TP has never been done before, so, you know, I could say understandable, but, like, I wish. So now we'll just see how Halfling closes out this Phantom fight. Like a very smooth frame rate right now, so we just gotta listen for the audio on how well it's going. Seems to be pretty low. So, not getting Nargaport. I'll see if he gets this kill here. Nice, got the kill. If you don't get the kill there, you get an extra attack. That loses a lot of time. So yeah, now we just have Halfling handing it out with the mashing. GG to both the runners. What an amazing run. To both of them. GG's.
Hello.
So we got Gron in here, and Halfling should be coming shortly. GG's to the runners. So Gron taking it with a 124. Wow. That's an amazing run. And Halfling, amazing run to you too. Both just great runs all around.
Thank you. AGG Halfling.
That's an insane time, dude. Even without the deaths, I wasn't gonna beat that. So.
Thank you, man. That was my first deathless run in the tournament, actually.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Deathless. Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good race.
Yeah,
Seemed like
man.
I'll let you go.
Oh yeah, I looked over and I saw that you. I think you actually beat me in 8-bit by like a few seconds, and then it looked like linear we were tied. I think, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, linear was tied, which is.
It
really
looked
exciting.
like 8-bit Halfling was a bit ahead, and then Gron, you got Balfred. Halfling was a bit ahead of you entering Manfred. Yeah. You got Balfred, he didn't, and that put you just a bit in the lead. And linear was crazy close. You're actually really close, even out of Forlorn. It really just came down to that little like Riviere, those deaths.
Oh man, my Riviere. I feel like we both, from what I saw, were playing like really well, both up to Riviere. And man, I had a room like I just got stuck. I couldn't get up. Like, I was
Riviere
like,
is something I definitely need to practice. It's like, yeah.
But, yeah, it's a hard level.
Riviere is no joke. It is very hard.
Yeah.
What room got you, Halfling? I didn't see.
I was experimenting with a setup for the yeet where you get the cloud step before the hoop, so you have less height into the room, and you throw a windmill to hit a lantern. And I threw my windmill too early and just fell into the acid.
Oh man, that's brutal. That's like Narga's, similar to Narga's setup, right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar to what he's been doing because it gives the checkpoint. For
what I got the moral there is don't do Narga strats in a race.
Don't do Narga strats, and don't
in general, I think is a good thing too. Aside from the one music box strat.
Yeah, I'm glad that worked.
Yeah, it's consistent, man. Like it's a Narga strat.
Right, it's a perfect setup.
Oh yeah,
like all Narga setups.
You just rope dart, like wait a bit, you know, and just kind of eyeball it and jump.
Yeah.
And you just windmill randomly, and it works. Yeah, I saw, like, missing that checkpoint there, and the yeet really That was really unfortunate because you died going into the whatever that cycle room is before it.
Yeah,
too.
the second time I went into it, I died, which wasn't as egregious.
Yeah.
But
Oh, the log room?
yeah, I mean, without the 2 minutes of deaths, that's a PB. So otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how I played. So
Yeah, you both played amazing, man. Like that was
Thank you.
That was so great to watch, and
Yeah, I feel like we were pretty much neck and neck. I think I pulled a little ahead on Forlorn because I got a gold.
yeah, my Forlorn, I didn't get. I took a extra hit in the room right before the Forlorn Hail Mary, so I wasn't able to go for it.
Yeah, that room actually loses so much time, just like the real Hail Mary.
Yeah.
If you can't go fast, but it's smart. Like sometimes you can go in that room at low HP and be like, all right, I'm gonna double projectile damage boost through, but it's so sketchy every time
Yeah,
in a race. It's just too much.
it's Forlorn in general, you know.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm
Yeah,
happy
Forlorn.
getting G jump. That's all I care about in a Forlorn segment.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I'm
rough
glad
if you miss it.
we both got ult steals and we both got G jump, which is nice.
I even got the Jesus steal.
Yeah, dude.
Ooh.
Jesus fall at the end while eating still.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. But, yeah, I think I was like, both of you guys didn't get saw jump either, which that was
Yeah,
saw
saw
jumps
both low
I mean-
rucks, no saw jumps, like yeah.
that's understandable, you know. Saw jump, the jank, and don't really not too annoyed if you miss it.
Yeah, for sure.
So halfling, just necessarily now you're still not out yet. You can still get the comeback.
Yeah,
because it's double
so
elimination. You're
Losers
going
finals
into a
versus
game
Narga
against
then for me,
Narga,
and then
I
you'll be
believe.
playing the winner of that. Sometime.
Yeah, I think it's you versus Narga, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. So that'll be a nice rematch.
yeah.
I think we're both better
be a
than we
great
were the
match.
first time we played. Yeah.
You're just gonna hope the Narga strats fail him and work for you.
Yeah, just play a super safe brace. We'll see, yeah.
And Grand, you're just still sitting happy on 0 losses. You need to be beat twice, and yeah, that will be pretty fun to watch. And do you have anything you guys are worried about going into this later?
I would say, like, this match was a really scary one because if you lose this one, it's like, okay, now you go to losers finals. You got to beat Narga. Then after you beat Narga, you got to beat who you lost to twice in a row. So it's one of those, like, really, it's not impossible, but it's like a really uphill battle. So today was like a really key match, and in grand finals, whether I fight Halfling or Narga, I think it'll be a really good match either way because they've, obviously they're both amazing at the run, and this category's so long and so many swings can happen and just crazy stuff that you've never seen in your life just happens on screen. You're like, oh no, what do I do? It's like, what is this? And it's just I think it'll be really entertaining though either way, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be very nice.
Yeah.
Now they're on the topic of your run, Grand. I appreciate the attempt on going for Bat TV.
I had to. I knew you were commentating.
Hey, but like, I can give you the in-depth details on why it doesn't work if you want. But like, I don't know if I want to just do that on this channel. Just
It'll
bombard everyone
definitely
with the
happen one day.
information.
Someone will get it.
Yeah. The problem with it is the bat is just barely too far to the left. And even when you're like perfect on getting up to him and you like make him move late, you're just barely too far left. So you either have to make him go right, which would arguably be slower.
Then it loses time, probably.
Yeah, it's been like a minute and a half swinging that bat around to the perfect spot.
Hey, you still got it though.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. GG's again, Halfling. I'm glad I think that was like the first time we actually got to race before, other than like...
Yeah, other than qualifiers, yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool.
So yeah, congrats. That's crazy time.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Both times were crazy. Very well done. Like, the one thing I know for myself, I was looking forward to is both concierge fights, because that's just a way. Oh, like, that's just the mashing is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts on just going ahead, or?
Good luck to everyone, I guess. There's 3 of us, but good luck to you, whoever you end up playing Gron. Good luck to me. Later. Good luck to me.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. It's gonna be a fun time.
It's gonna be very hard no matter what you're doing. It's just... got Narga, Halfling, Gron. It's amazing. Narga with the windmills is very scary. It's only just scarier to see him on Picnic Panic.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to race Narga and Picnic Panic. It wouldn't be a good vacation for anyone. Except for Narga, of course. He owns the whole place.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be interesting to see, just even if, well, there was a category for any percent plus Picnic Panic. I think that would be a pretty fun to watch, because if Narga's playing, racing someone, but that's an interesting category.
Yeah. Well, yeah, good race. I think that's it, right? I mean...
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, just great job, runners. So we should look forward to next week. We got losers
should be...
finals.
Yeah,
and
it'll
then,
be soon.
Then it'll be winners finals after that, which will be someone 0 wins, which will be Grand, and either Halfling or Assassin Narga challenging Grand. Yeah, that's something to look forward to in this tourney, and it's wrapping up very shortly. And thanks everyone for coming out and supporting this and watching it. Wouldn't be possible without people coming and being here to watch. I think we're gonna sign off on that. Everyone, just thanks again. And yeah, the losers finals and winners finals coming up are just something to look forward to.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for a great race.
Yep, GG again, man.
GG.
Good luck in Verstarga. It's gonna be a sick
Thank
match.
you. Yeah, I'll need it. Cool.
All right, see you, everybody.
See ya.